Welcome to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright. This show is all about honoring you as a spiritual being, having a human experience. You are here for a reason, and it's no mistake that you are here on Earth right now. Spirit has guided you to this very moment in time, so you could hear the messages Pam is about to share with you. She is a multi-dimensional healer, light language channel, transformation coach, wife and mother, committed to helping you discover the tools and practices to empower you to live the best life you can. You get to choose the spirit path you take. You can connect to the spiritual guidance already all around you. Get ready to live a fully empowered life. This is the Empower Me Show.
Welcome back to the Empower Me Show. My name is Pam Bright. I'm your hostess for this program. I'm so glad that you've joined us for this lovely adventure with Arlene Arnold and the transformation tools that she brings. Welcome, Arlene, to the show. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
And we are going to, as I said, go on a little journey together into the world of transformation and into really what's possible for you as a soul having this human journey with us on planet Earth. And as we get started, it's always important for me as a host, but also as a human being, to be in my body fully. So with my morning getting away from me, I ran into time this morning and okay, got to get moving, got to get focused, got to get centered and all of that. So I'm going to do that with you now because it's important for me to really bring all of my faculties into this moment, and so that my body is very present for you and that I am able to transmit whatever information you need for your life as we move forward in 2024. So I invite you to, especially if you can, close your eyes to do that. If you need to keep your eyes open and focused on the road or at a job or with animals, then go ahead and do that. But if you can close your eyes, please do that. And having a little sound as you breathe in and out is helpful as well to de-stress a little bit. Ooh. And if you are a person that likes to use crystals as a focal point or stones, I've got my handy selenite here, so I invite you to grab something if you want to hold on to it as a way to focus in on really your life and what's most important to you now. We invite the Earth Mother, Gaia, into this moment. We ask her to bring her energy up through her own portal within her body. And we ask her energy to come up through our feet and into our legs, and gathering all of the energy inside of our bodies, our torso, arms and legs, fingers and toes, brain, our hearing and our vocal processors, our eyes, our skin even, and our blood. Everything that makes up us as human beings, we ask that the Earth Mother bring all of that energy up through her to us so that we are connected one-on-one with her. Ena sakide inchuna sadike babaye tanamekia na ezundu zarabate ndayika eika nazanameya ute sanamanikia ina sanamaneki chechenasi o nesana kichena makia ute papa ne kisana makia Karakisada peke I papa mama Isa namakia mama ye. Thank you, Earth Mother, for that information and that message for us, and for that help in grounding us into who we are in our bodies. We now ask that the heavenly realms, all the star beings, all of the galactic beings, all of the portals within the great central sun. Interesting. Okay, the rainbow wants to come in too. Connecting us to the rainbow bridge. So that may be very appropriate for some of you who are dealing with the beyond, especially those that have passed recently. So we connect in that energy now into this moment. And we bring all that in to our physical form. E sandaze kudemada dei kondezana yekiaya ekunaza nekuna iya iya. We ask it to mix with the Earth Mother's energy as well. Right in our center, in our heart space. We thank the love of who we are as spirit and form. And we ask that all of our guides, teachers, and angels be present now in this space with us. And with another deep breath and a nice we come back to center. And we open our eyes and welcome back. So glad you're here. Arlene, thank you so much for joining me today. You are on quite a journey with 2024, I hear.
Yes.
You are beginning something in March and is it starting tomorrow?
We're actually opening it today, just for the people here if they're interested. And
nice.
And the launch itself is tomorrow.
Beautiful. And what is this launch that you are talking about?
Well, one of the things that I've noticed that's really up right now is the need for community. I feel like all of what we've been through, especially the pandemic, but with all of the energies that are so chaotic sometimes and difficult, and because so many of the people that you and I work with are highly sensitive and intuitive, and they pick up energies and so on. We just need each other to help us. And so this is a community that was developed because I've had this in my heart for a long time. And it is a membership community, just $7 a month, because we want everybody to feel like they can be part of it. But I want to show you, this is one of the cards out of the Luminary deck that Lorinda and I created. This is called Vortality. So the Vortal comes from Vortality, which puts together vortex and portal. And that is what we want this to be. And I have two titles for what that means. And I'm going to ask if any of your listeners want to tell me which one they like best.
All right. So those of you who are listening, this is a direct question for you. Which one do you like best?
So this one came to me while we were on an airplane to Costa Rica, my husband and I. And so it sort of came through me. And then I felt maybe it was a little too far out. Maybe not for you, Pam. It's a coming together vortex for unique souls in form, creating a portal into evolutionary cosmic transformation.
Woo, that's juicy. I like that.
Now, this one's more for a broader audience. A vortex where seekers find inspiration and support to step into their portal of spiritual evolution.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I am just one person.
Yes, but
There are probably hundreds of you that are out there listening. And we've also got Emily in the background also listening. So if you want to write in or call in, you can do that at 1-800-930-2819 and put in your vote for that. Or you can also get to the Transformation Talk Radio chat line, which is, I believe it's just transformationtalkradio.com. And then somewhere in there is a chat line. I've not actually done it myself. So maybe, Emily, you can share with the listeners who aren't sure how to do that.
There is a way to chat on our website under the video player. There's also the YouTube chat and on our Facebook page. And also Pam's Facebook page. We'll be looking at that as well.
Perfect. There you go. So that's how you do that. And in the meantime, Emily, since we have you on the line, which one is your favorite from what you heard of the energy of this amazing membership?
The first one with the Vortex definitely caught my attention.
Great. Perfect. All right. So it's what I'm really hearing with that is you say it's for the broader audience, but I'm also getting that our collective humanity right now is really in this place of opening.
yes.
Really in a broad way.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
So more and more people now are opening their minds and opening their hearts to realizing, wow, I'm accessing parts of my brain that I haven't accessed before, which means that I'm speaking differently, I'm hearing differently, I'm connecting differently, and I'm more open to those what we might call woo-woo words that before might not have been available to me. So that may be you as well that are listening. Go ahead, Arlene.
Well, I'm taking it from my husband, who was not really into all of this, but he's highly sensitive and intuitive. He just didn't know it. So I'm hoping some of the people that are like him will have some curiosity, which he has had, and he's now actually on our leadership committee. So it's like I really invite anyone to come in and just experience it, and then they'll know whether that's right for them or not.
Perfect. I love that. So there are listeners that aren't necessarily able to navigate technology very well. How can they handle this new venue of connection with you?
Well, hopefully they can go to my website, which is transformationaltools.com. It's not just transformation, but transformationaltools.com. And you will find in the menu, I just put it in this morning, it says the portal. And you can go there and read about it. And then also there's a link that goes to a landing page that gives you more information. Or if you just want to give it a try, there's a link where you can go and sign up. So I just appreciate Pam being able to put this out to your listeners. I know that there's so much going on online now, and people, I think sometimes are confused about what it is that would best serve them. And in my heart, always, it is do what you feel led from inside of you, not necessarily what anybody else says, but just find the truth inside and say, is this something for me to look into?
Absolutely. That's so beautiful. I believe that too. So you and I have been on this transformational journey for a long time. And so maybe you can share a little bit with those that are listening and really curious about, why did I get to this program? What is this Transformation Talk Radio thing? What is this thing all about? How have things changed, not only in your own life, but how have you seen the trends change in the world of transformation and spirituality in the time that you've been working with this realm?
Well, I'll just tell your listeners that I started out in a family that was quite religious, and they became more religious over time. So we kind of diverged a little bit for a while, but we're back together knowing that everything is about love. And I'm really pleased by that, because there was a long time that I felt like I wasn't understood by my family.
Mm.
And that's really the people that we serve, is to ones who have not had very good times in their early years, and maybe even now, because it's very hard to find out what your life is truly about if you don't have people around you that really accept and understand who you are. And it's partly why I'm so pleased. I've only been married for a year now. And I knew Peter early on. We met in Costa Rica when I was 10 and he was 13. But we have developed in different directions. But what we found is inside, there's so much the same. And that's what I hope that people will understand. Even though there are people that have not understood you in the past, they are really opening up, like you said, Pam. They're just opening up to understanding that there's more. So don't lose hope. You will find that. And I hope if you come to what we're doing, you will find that there are people here that are like that, because they're very heart-centered. They're very accepting, and they've been through many things. Sometimes I go, I don't even know how you even got through life. I mean, the things that people have experienced is beyond my imagining. And we need places where people can listen to us and understand, even if it's not their exact experience.
Absolutely.
And so then one of the ways that I started out, which is kind of fun, is I would go to the Puyallup Fair, and I would go and have the handwriting analysis. And I was all like, well, how is it that my handwriting says something about who I am? Because it was really true. And then I would start going to psychic fairs, and I would have my picture taken, where you put your hand on the little box and it shows up your energy field and tells about who you are. Well, I had one of those early on, and I was taking that to the fairs and using it with my color cards, because color is one of the main modalities that I bring to the table. And I laughed about the rainbow coming in. The color said, well, we want to be there too. So anyway, that was all so interesting to me. And I think that's how it happens. Well, you are brought to things that you may not be familiar, but you kind of resonate to that. And
Absolutely.
you kind of feel like, oh, I feel like I know that already. Or Peter and I met this woman in my favorite store here on Whidbey Island. And it was like immediately, it was like I already knew her. And she felt the same way. And I think that that's how life is. It's brought to you if you pay attention.
Absolutely. And what I'm aware of is that this terminology called soul family is really prevalent now.
Yes, it is.
So especially now that we have opened to a global world, right? I mean, of course, the globe, right?
Yeah.
This ability that we have now of connecting online.
Yes.
This venue has really just exploded that connection.
Yeah.
And so we're finding people that we're like, oh my God, where have you been? Like, yes. I know you. Why do I know you? Well, my heart knows you. My soul knows you. Yeah. And this is what it feels like when I first met Arlene. She sat next to me in a psychic fair, and I'm like, who's this person? And I just kept gravitating towards her. And my husband was with me, and we both kind of did that. And it was really magical. And that's the magic and the miracle of really stepping out of our comfort zones and being willing to try something new.
Yes. And I'm really emphasizing for people that what I found in my life is I was influenced by my family and all the different things around me, that outside world. And yet I could feel there was something inside. But I feel like the biggest thing that people can do now is go inside, find that inside world, because to me, that's where the soul is informed. And if we find that in our hearts, we begin to find out who we are in our essence, and who we are also in form here. And then if we use that as sort of a microscope looking out into the outside world, we will find how to live authentically in the outside world. Because if you just are in the outside world, it's like you don't know who you are. You don't know how to fit in. I didn't. It took me a long time to feel like I fit in anywhere. And it takes people a long time to overcome some of that trauma that comes when you're not fully accepted, or when terrible things happen to you just because of who you are. And so for me, it's inside world, then outside world.
Of course, absolutely. Well, and it's interesting that that just as you were saying that, my client Bobby from Florida just called in. So, Bobby, you have perfect timing as always. So, welcome to the show, sweetheart.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing really well. Really well. So, you've got Arlene Arnold on the line with you and myself, and she is talking about this amazing membership program that she's just birthing. And so, with that, you might be interested in joining her, but you probably will want to have some questions about that.
Yeah, I'm curious about it, and being that I'm going through a big transformation myself. I mean, I just put in my resignation from my job that I've had for 13 years, and I'm moving to the South Florida area, Fort Lauderdale area, to be specific. I'm moving on March 23rd. My uncle's going to take me down, and we're going to get set up. I'm going to stay at my mom's for a couple months and get a job and get my own place and, be closer to my family and everything. So I got some big changes coming.
Yeah, congratulations on that, sweetheart. So, Arlene, why don't you share with Bobby about the membership program and what you are picking up from him, because I know you're energetically very connected. So,
Bobby, what I'm picking up from you is you're a very unique person, and that you are moving because of that uniqueness. You have to find the right fit for you. And I think it's really important to make connections to your family too. And what this, we call it the Vortex, what this does is it connects you with other people who may be going through the same thing, because I think we're in a huge time of change. And it's really about expanding from where we have been to where we need to be at this time. So this move may have a lot to do with expanding you. And I just want to read one thing out. This is I know Bobby can't see this, but this card is called Expanding. And I just want to read this to you, Bobby, because I think it will have meaning to you at this time. So this is out of the Luminary deck that I created with my friend Lorinda. So get to the right page here. Okay. So here's the message, Bobby. Expand your thinking, evolve your vision, embrace your uniqueness, join the universal orchestration of all that is. The universe is a magnificent playground. There are many waiting to play. Join forces with minds and spirits who are ready to move to the next evolvement. And that's what the Vortex is about. These are people that are ready to move to the next evolvement. And I will be giving a live talk each month for the Vortal about different things that are coming up, kind of like the way Pam does, and brings up the things that we know are going on and give you ways to help you. But also, I'll be using Zoom where we can go into small groups, because I want people to get to know each other, and I want them to talk to each other, because I found that in many cases we learn so much from the other people in a group. And then there are tools. We have one of our women is going to be teaching about crystals, and I brought mine, the one that she's going to be using. This is okay now, amethyst, and she's going to be talking about that and how to use it and that kind of thing. And we also have different meditations and tools of that sort. And then once a month, I do what I call journaling with your knowing self, which is one of the best ways I've ever found to figure out what's going on in your inner self and to get the answers from inside. And there's a bunch more things, but go on to my Transformational Tools website. It's transformationaltools.com, and go in the menu where it says the Vortal, and you'll get a lot of information about what this is about.
So, Bobby, this
Sounds
is
good.
only $7 a month.
Yeah.
For this amazing
Yeah.
journey. So you might really want to consider that. And you've got a free gift that you have for somebody that calls in, Arlene. What is that gift?
I would do a reading for you from the two decks that one I helped to do, and the other one I did myself. One of them's color, and the other one is what I just read to you. That one's called Luminaries, and it's mandalas that have amazing information in them.
All right.
Cool.
And all
So,
you have,
Pam,
yeah, go ahead.
so Pam will probably give you my information. She'll probably give me yours as well.
Yes.
And I will check out that website because that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be really, really supportive for you, Bobby, to you've been asking for community. You've been asking to have people surrounding you that speak your language, so to speak.
Yeah. Speaking of which, could I have a little shot in the arm before I go? A little light language.
Yes,
I call
you
it the
can,
shot in
honey.
the arm. The shot in the arm, it doesn't hurt.
Of course. So we'll get you all set up with Arlene's membership program. I think that's going to be really great for you. Make sure that she gets you set up for that. And we now ask that the light beings that work with Bobby come in fully now. All of the angels, all of his guides, all of his teachers, all of the beings that are ready to give him what he needs in this moment in time, in his body as well as his spirit, his emotional sense, his focus, and his direction. Anazane ue anamaye kumaye. Aya, 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 we, aya, we. Ana ye, ya, baba ye, ye. Ooh-wee. Your spirit really expanded a lot, honey, as we were doing that. Holy cow.
It just felt like there was confetti, and my angels and guides were celebrating. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like they were celebrating and clapping, and there was confetti just falling all around me and everything.
Yep,
Like, wow.
yep, they're very happy. Yep, they're very happy that you are making this move. It's about time. It's about time. Yep. So the other thing that I recommend before we end is that, and I know you want to have a session with me as well, but really focusing on having your guides work with you to create this new life. Really getting them on board with that, making sure that they're setting you up with a new job. They've already are, but speaking that to them and asking directly is going to be really important. Okay. The other thing is
All
making sure
right.
you've already got the setup for where you're going to live. You know, if you want an apartment, they're going to set up the apartment. You just need to ask them for what you want specifically, and then they'll get on that.
Yep.
Right?
Sounds good.
Cool beans. Okay, I'll set you up with information for Arlene and then get you guys connected. Oh, she's got something.
I've got a color card for you, and it's the Strength in Violet Purple. And that is one that you can access lots of knowing, and your guides and angels and people that work with you can get through to you because you're open for that.
That's great.
Cool.
Yep. Well, and remember, sweetheart, that what's waiting for you is your spiritual work that you have kind of been dabbling in, but you haven't quite fully emerged into yet. I'll just put that in there too. Okay?
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for calling in, honey. Have a beautiful day, and we will talk to you soon.
Okay, I love you guys.
Love you too, honey. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye, babe.
Hey.
All right. So there we go. We got our first taker for the membership program. So why don't you tell us specifically about the kind of the structure of it? So you're going to have a monthly meeting. Is that right?
Yeah, we have, actually, it's in a program that's called Thrive Cart, and that's where we have our courses as well. So when you go in there, it tells you about what our desire is in doing this. And then you have one page for the month of March, and it tells you all the things that are available to you during the month of March. And plus, it also has a meditation for you. And we are going to bring different tools. I have tools that I've created over the years, and some of those tools will be there for people in the Vortal to work on their own. Sometimes I will bring them out when I'm making my comments during the month, and we'll play with those. And then there's also opportunities for people to get together in a chat. We're going to have a chat on Facebook. I kind of wanted to have it someplace else, but that's probably the most convenient place to have that. And we'll have that set up for everybody because we really want them to get to know each other and maybe have their own time to be together outside of the membership program.
Great.
Yeah.
Super. Well, this sounds like a very juicy opportunity to get together and really expand what our sense of family.
Yes.
So actually, that would be a great thing to talk about right now is let's do that after we take a little break. Let's talk about family and what family looks like and could be for those of you who are listening. We'll take a break and we'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to the Empower Me Show. We are here with my dear friend, Arlene Arnold, who is talking to us about her new membership program called the Vortal. And it's got a tagline that we are deciding on that she just needs to anchor it in. So, okay, so my guides say, well, you can do that. Okay, so I'll do that too. But she also wants input from you, the listeners. So if you've been listening since we started, then you'd remember what it is. But let's read those again so that people are aware of what those are.
A coming together vortex of unique souls in form, creating a portal into evolutionary cosmic transformation. Or a vortex where seekers find inspiration and support to step into their portal of spiritual evolution.
Okay, so which one do you like the best? Which one would grab your attention and go, oh, that's the one I want, right? Because you get to say, in this day and age of 2024, you have a voice. So this is your time to use your voice and say, okay, that's what I like the best. Or, no, not quite. This one over here sounds better. So go ahead and call in and let us know, because we love to talk to you. We love your input. We want your energy in this conversation as well. And so please, 1-800-930-2819, or go to transformationtalkradio.com and look in the menu, and you will see a chat button. You can type in your comments or go to Bright Butterfly Enterprises page or Facebook. Those are 3 different ways that you can get a hold of us. So let us know your vote, because you matter. So let's talk about family, and how has family really, especially the concept of family, but also like when we go beyond our 3D thinking of what family looks like, mom, dad, brother, sister, aunts, uncle, whatever that is. And then we move beyond that. What comes up for you? And what do you have to say about that?
One of the things that I want to say about that is, I've at times wondered why I was in the family I was in. I'm sure the people have said that too. And I finally understood that if my family had said, yes, yes, you're on the right path, you go for it, if that had happened, I wouldn't have had to go through the process of saying, I love you, but I can't quite go the direction you're going. And I would finally have to say, this is my direction. This is what I choose. But that doesn't mean leaving them behind as my family. I've become actually closer after I got over feeling like I wasn't being heard or understood, and said, they don't need to do that for me. It's all in here. And then I have what's called a found family. That's, to me, is the family that I have at Transformational Tools, because these are ones that, some of them that have been with me for over 20 years. And so they know so many things about me that my family probably don't know. And they have no judgment of who I am, and I have no judgment of who they are. And they are the family that really had supported me for so long. And that's the kind of family that I look for in this membership program, because I feel like people can find that. You might want to call it chosen family or found family, but you will know, like I did when I saw that woman in the store. It was like, I know you, And like you say, there's soul families. And for me, the soul families really come from the color rays. And so I'm the color ray of blue. And so was my father. And that is the ray where the person is using the throat chakra, and it has to do with teaching and writing books and so many ways of expressing. And so those that are part of that will really know each other at a deep level.
Yes. Well, and it feels and sounds to me like this membership program is really going to be bringing in people that wouldn't normally mix, if you will, with whoever joins, because they're just curious. They're like, I need something and I don't really know what it is, and I really don't have a lot of money to be able to invest in any big things, but I want something to be able to add to what I'm already doing. And so that's going to be really important, especially since we had the pandemic in 2020, the finances are all over the board, folks. Let's just face it, right? And so we need ways to have win-win in every area of our lives, and ones that don't stress us out. right? Because there's so much stress that we deal with on a daily basis, and it's not even yours. Let's face it, you're probably dealing with stress that's not even yours. And so, with that, it's really important for me as an individual, but also as a teacher of spirituality and a way shower, that I say, you know what? You need to release anything that's in your way, anything that doesn't belong to you. And the way to do that is to simply state it. Because when you state it to yourself, to your body's system, it gets the message, oh, okay, so I have stuff in me that isn't mine. So then I state it out loud, do stuff like this where I, take it off of my body, right? Just fluff it off. And then we use mantras like, I am Pam. I am only Pam. Only Pam's energy is allowed in Pam's body. I am Pam. That's a really powerful mantra. And if you want me to write it down for you, you need to let me know and I'll write it down for you and send it to you. And you can do that by contacting me at brightbutterflynetwork.com or enterprises.com. They both go to the same place. And just say, I want that mantra you said on the show. And then I'll send it to you. Or call me and talk to me here. But doing those kinds of things where we get ourselves back into here where we live is really important. And it sounds to me like this is an opportunity to come together as a group and support each other in what our individual directions are and collectively what our directions are. Is that correct?
Yeah. And I would love to have that mantra. I will share it with those people in the board.
Okay, great.
I also want to show you one of these other cards. This one is called Core Crucible. And
Beautiful.
what I've been doing lately, and you can just imagine it. You don't have to, you can put it under your feet, but I imagine it below my feet. And then as things come up, I just let it go down into Core Crucible, and the energy is transmuted into usable energy. So it's available for us afterwards in a very natural state.
I love that. Well, and what it reminds me of actually is the core of the earth.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Because what I see is when I see the core of the earth, what I see is I was told this years ago, and whenever I connect into it, I'm right there, is that there are core crystals in the earth. And they're huge. They're huge crystals that hold the earth in place, right? And then it helps her to keep cleansing herself so that she's totally available to us. And then she's got this fiery core in her center, but it doesn't hurt us. It's very interesting. It's warm, but it doesn't burn. So that's an interesting phenomenon that does create itself. And you have to let your logical mind go to be able to bring these new concepts in as we talk about them. Because many of us are getting lots of information that isn't necessarily in a book. So you're going to have to really learn how to hold these different energies at the same time and let it be okay, because we're expanding spiritually into these unknown places that we've never been to before. So in the last little bit, what would you say is the most important thing for people to know? What's your biggest message for them? You might have a little exercise for them to take on before we end. We've got probably about 10 minutes or a little less than that.
Well, one of the things that I think is so important at this time is that we recognize the difference between the chaos that we see outside of us and the path that is the spiritual blueprint. And that blueprint depends on us, because the more we get together, the more we understand that there is a different way that Earth can go. And we become that, and we bring that energy in. And as more and more come, if anybody knows about the 100th monkey principle, where there's a certain point you get enough together at one place, it will spill over into the whole. And we, the more of us that get together, the more of us that feel this happening, and we come together with that, the more we have the ability to help to shift the way human life is on this earth. And so if we focus on the chaos, then that's what we bring in more of. If we focus on this divine plan that many are a part of and are already exhibiting in their lives by being authentic and by bringing in light and love and knowing that there's something more, then we can bring about a change here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it really is about individual responsibility, right? If I'm focused on, okay, people are starving in the world, there's war going on, and I think it's out there somewhere else other than here, then I'm not taking responsibility. So I'm not saying it's all up to you, but your world and your view of your world is your responsibility. So if this is where I stand in this belief system, okay? If there's something for me to do about the wars over yonder, wherever they are happening, or the famine that's happening in other countries, or even in our own United States, if there's something for me to do about that, then my soul, my guides will tell me, this is your part, Pam. And I get that information, but I have to be willing to hear it. So I open myself up to, I am now willing and ready to receive the divine guidance for the actions to take that will help with whatever it is that I'm looking at. Okay. That's another mantra that I use. So I invite you to really bring in your knowing for what your next thing is that you want to take on. And you don't have to do it alone. You've got all kinds of support to do it. People, places, things, music, reading, connecting to crystals, connecting to the earth, connecting to the trees and the flowers, the waters. Anything that you need support in will assist you with your next steps. So anything that you want to share about that I just said?
Well, one of the things that I do, people say don't watch the news, but what I watch the news for is then I am aware of what's happening. And then we can always send love to cover all of those things that are happening. We can always take the crystalline energy and put that crystalline energy out there because it raises the frequency. And that often makes people uncomfortable if they're living in a frequency that's not true to who they are. And hopefully that at some point can help people to look again and see who they are and what they're supposed to be doing in this world, because we all came here to be a part of the change in this world. And when we have different leaders and people who are taking us down another path, we have the ability to bring in a different energy. And they may be there just to teach us about what humanity can do if it's not connected to the inner. And that we have to show what it's like if we are connected to that inner truth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you want to have a voice, folks, in the direction that the world goes, and you want other people to pay attention, then this membership is for you. Okay. So once again, in the last few minutes that we have, Arlene, why don't you let people know how can they join this membership program? and how can they get this free reading that you're offering?
Yes, great. Okay, so yeah, it's all on transformationaltools.com. And you'll see in the menu that you can go to the Vortal, and that will take you to the place where you can learn more about it. It'll take you to the place where you can sign up. And there's also contact on the page. It's down at the very bottom of the page, but you can just put in transformationaltools.com/contact. And you can go there and send a message to me and say, I was on the live show with Pam, and I would like to have a reading from you, a color card reading.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. Now you've got the information. If you didn't quite retain all that, then send Transformation Talk Radio a message, or me. Either way, I'll get the message from there, or you can go to brightbutterflynetwork.com and say, hey, I need some help. What was just happening? I want that thing, right? I also am starting to look at the messages that I receive as well on Transformation Talk Radio so that I get that message and can send out the information that you're asking for. So we are wrapping up in the last few minutes here. And why don't we bring in your color frequency? How about that?
Love it.
Do you want to take them through? We've got 3 minutes. You want to take them through that?
Just the color frequency that you mean my soul frequency, or just the frequency for right now in this time?
I would say each individual can receive their own color frequency.
Yeah. Okay. So what I would like us to do is to imagine that there are all the colors of that are possible that are in the crystalline place, and that is out in the cosmos. It's also in the earth, but we're finding the colors in the cosmos, and all of the colors that are here in human form are in black. So black and white have all the possibilities of the colors. So if you will just see yourself covered with this crystalline energy that is white and this wonderful earth energy that is black, and just ask that the colors that are right for you will come into your body and into your energy field and will bless you in whatever way you need at this moment. And so it is, and so it shall be. It is done.
That's really beautiful. So just so that you hear, folks that are listening, I saw gold, and I saw this amazing sparkly white that came in, and then this pink that you see behind me. So all of those energies are wanting to really be known in my own soul and shining forth for you. So what did you get? We'd love to hear. We don't have time for you to call in, unfortunately, now, but you can write in.
Yes.
You can write one of us. Definitely sign up for the Vortal. It's going to be an amazing process for you, the soul who is listening, to expand your spiritual journey and get the support that you've been craving. This is not a time to be alone anymore. This is a time to open to what's possible collectively as well as globally. So thank you for tuning in. We're so glad that you came. Thank you, Arlene, for being my special guest. I'm so glad to have you back.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so glad we're back connected again.
Yes.
And those of you who were listening, thank you very much for tuning in. And you can go to brightbutterflynetwork.com or transformationaltools.com to get your needs met spiritually and transformationally on this amazing journey. We love you, and your life is up to you. So we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Me Show with Pam Bright on Transformation Talk Radio. Tune in to learn more about living a fully empowered life. Remember that your life is up to you, and you can choose the spiritual path you are on. There is spiritual energy and wisdom in everything and everyone around you. Listen carefully for what the universe is trying to tell you in every moment. You are already being guided along your journey. Call upon your spirit guides anytime you need help with anything. Know that you are safe in every moment, even if it seems that you are not. For more information about Pam Bright, visit brightbutterflyenterprises.com or email theempowermeshow@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening. We hope to see you next week.